England's television news leader.
The kids love it, but early dismissals were not the best news for working parents. A judge hears Tonya Harding's plea to block next week's Olympic Committee hearing that might keep her off the ice. And tonight's high five goes to Belmont High's three-sport star, Brian Owens.
Now, Chet Curtis, Natalie Jacobson, Dick Albert with weather, and Mike Lynch on sports. This is News Center 5 at 6.
Tonight, the drifts just keep on growing. After a 36-hour reprieve, Old Man Winter put his snow machine in high gear, turning highways into parking lots, once again, making this winter of '94 a season to remember.
Right now, you are looking live at Route 128, where the latest winter wallop is snarling traffic, bringing most of the Bay State to a virtual standstill. Good evening. We have scraped, we have shoveled, we have sanded, but tonight the relentless pounding of winter is testing our patience.
Our meteorologist Dick Albert has been tracking the storm all day long, as you might expect, and is in the midst of it with the latest. Dickie?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm up on the roof here, and I'll tell you a couple of things. It's wintry out here. It's cold. It's very windy. I think the wind chill is probably 0 or below, and it's snowing at least moderately. You know, so far this winter, we've had 72 inches of snow in Boston. That's exactly my height. If you're under 6 feet, you've been buried. Let's take a quick look at how much snow we've had in the Boston area from this storm. You can see 6 inches in Boston officially, but down south, anywhere from Millis area, Mansfield, down through Duxbury, down through Plimpton, down through the Cape, a good 9, 10, 11 inches of snow. To the west of Boston, about 7 in the 128 area. When you get further north and west, the snowfall gets a little lighter. Now let's look at our radar composite over the last couple of hours, and you will see there's still a lot of snow to come overnight. I think this is going to be slow to end. You can see that it stretches all the way from where we are now into eastern New York State, and there's some extra snow hanging way back in New York and Pennsylvania. It should gradually lighten up tonight, but probably not ending until after midnight. At least another 2 to 4 inches, perhaps a little more in a few spots. And I don't even want to mention this, but there's a chance of additional snow on Sunday. So let's check what's happening in downtown Boston with Jack. Jack, what's going on?
Down here, Dick, no question about that. As you've indicated, the commute and the drive trying to get out of town has been unbelievable. We're at Herald Square right now. Earlier, this was all gridlock. I mean, you couldn't get through here no matter if you had an ambulance or anything else, and it's a lot better than it was then. But early this morning, Mayor Menino said if the city of Boston got a lot of snow, it would have big problems, and boy, was he right. Even before the heavy snow started, we had problems with clogged streets. The north end was impossible.
I'd like him to back up so we can leave.
Yeah, had enough, huh?
No, it's just it gets annoying when you want to go somewhere. When you're stuck here on the street, he's going to be there a long time.
They don't seem to understand the plight of the truck driver either. They like their pizza, they like their bread, but they have to realize too that it's not flown in.
The snow's croaking small business.
The business is dead.
Yeah.
The people can walk.
They can't get here.
No park. Very bad.
As the snow piled up, major businesses let out, and people thought they were going to rush out of town.
I don't mind.
You did get out of work early.
Yeah.
That's the only good news.
Yeah, do my shopper in Haymarket. Go home for the weekend.
It wouldn't be that easy. Getting out of town took hours, sometimes a half hour to move 1 block. Nothing seemed to move in some parts of town. The traffic was unbelievable. Gridlock developed at hundreds of intersections. And some places you could barely move forward at all. So we had to get away from it.
A little bit of wind going left to right.
Believe it or not, the Golf Expo is at the World Trade Center this week. A chance for many of the dreamers to escape. Great golf shoes, great outfit, but it still goes in. Might look like fun making this putt, but it turns out it's one of the dumbest ideas I ever had, driving all the way over here. The reason for that was it took us 2 hours, 20 minutes to get back from Northern Avenue to Herald Square, 2:20. There's some of the traffic still trying to get up on the expressway. That ride back here was so bad that Warren Doolin, our photographer, and I actually had a fight in the car, and that has never happened before. It's been a bleak day getting around out here, no question about that. And someone who, I'm supposed to tell you one other thing before we go. Some of the parking garages downtown at the Prudential, at Copley Place, at Tent City, they're offering a special deal so you can get your car off the street if you live in Boston. For $3, you can park there for the next 24 hours, get your car out of the way. We ran into one man today who had 26 tickets because they're ticketing like crazy. The snow emergency, they can now ticket you anywhere, no matter what you've done with the meter. So get the car out off the street if you can. Steve Sprezia has gotten a first-hand look at trying to drive in this mess today on his commute. He's out in Needham. Steve?
I'm in Needham now, Jack. I only live 6 miles away from the station in Brighton, but it was 6 brutal miles. Photographer Mike Doherty joined me for my trip to Needham, and it was a ride that took quite a long time. But we were a whole lot more fortunate than a lot of folks. We talked to one person tried to take the MBTA from downtown Boston at midday when a lot of the offices were getting out. That person took 3 hours to get from downtown Boston on out on the MBTA, waited almost an hour just to pick up a train in Government Center. So you can see people were fleeing the city either by automobile or by mass transit. It was not an easy commute anywhere around. And on 128 behind me, it's starting to thin out a little bit. Some of the folks are beginning to get home right now, but as you indicated, Jack, there's still a lot of traffic in downtown Boston. A lot of folks still haven't got home right now. A lot of folks right now are turning to Mother Nature and saying, come on, Mother Nature, enough is enough. The joke is over. Now, this is not going to be pretty. Would you believe that I actually cleaned this car an hour ago? Fortunately, the shovel's in the front seat. Of course, there's ice under here, which is going to be fun. Let's see how long it takes. We'll set the stopwatch. It's normally a 10-minute trip. We'll see how long it really is. Speed limit's 35. We're doing just under 15 right now. I'm very lucky we're doing that. 37 minutes in, we're going under 128, which isn't moving at all above us. 40 minutes for what should be a 10-minute trip, and that was by the back roads. We were luckier than most. A lot of people have been sitting on the highways for hours and hours. They won't even see this because they'll still be trying to get home. If you're waiting on someone right now to find out when they're going to get home, let's get an overview right now from Smart Routes headquarters. Jeff Larson, who's going to be late tonight?
Everybody's going to be late, Steve. It is a horrendous commute out there, but we're seeing some easing. The rush hour began early, and things are starting to improve in downtown Boston. Now we're passing horror stories along. We'll tell you about a couple ourselves. Quick look at our camera from Mass General Hospital. There's been a breakdown sitting right here at Leverett Circle for about 2.5 hours. He's been blocking up traffic, although you can see it's stopped up after him as well. It's all the way back to Kenmore Square, although this is starting to break on free as well. As you can see, a little running room starting to become evident. The westbound side of Storyl Drive actually in fairly good shape. Here's another horror story for you in case you're interested. We just spoke to one of our Logan Express buses from Braintree. He told us the 1:30 bus from Logan Airport trying to get down to Braintree has not yet arrived. 4.5 hours later, it is going to be a very difficult commute, but things are gradually starting to improve. Obviously, state police are reporting or asking that if you do not have to drive this evening, to please stay off the roadways. It is going to be difficult driving throughout the night. Still very slippery, and now we're getting reports of black ice as well. In the Smart Routes Traffic Information Center, I'm Jeff Larson, News Center 5. Natalie?
All right, Jeff, and don't plan on heading out to the mall tonight. Most major malls in the greater Boston area are closed because of the storm.
And this blast of winter is venting much of its fury along the South Shore and the Cape, the same area that was socked with more than a foot of snow earlier this week. News Center 5's Ron Golovin live in Norwell with the latest. Ron.
Well, it's been another long and trying day for storm-weary South Shore residents. This storm came in early, it started snowing early, and it continues unabated at this hour.
In the midst of the whirling whiteout that is the South Shore, dozens of hardy New Englanders carried on with their daily lives. Most commerce was restricted by the storm, but there was one hot commodity. Looks like you got a pretty good stock of snow shovels here. Have you sold many?
Yes, we have. We ran out earlier this afternoon, and the owner went out and dug up some more for us. We don't know where, but that he did.
In the midst of it all, a school bus slid into a snowbank in Hingham, and the state police had to rescue some kids to wait for their parents.
We got a code 16, southbound of Route 3, just south of Route 18.
It's where we get in your usual snowstorm. People sliding off the roadways, minor accidents. People generally are using their heads, traveling slowly, so you get mostly property damage, and not the serious personal injury ones that you get other times.
As the flakes flew through the air, homeowners tried to keep up.
I'm sick of it. This is the second time today, and we had 26 inches, believe it or not, from the last storm, so it's been really wicked. But fortunately it's light, so this little thing will handle it. But as you can see, this was pretty much bare ground before the storm started, and it's up to here. So if I hadn't kept ahead of it, I guess I'd never get out of the house. But anyway, it's pretty miserable out there, so stay home.
The woods were lovely, dark and deep. But if you had promises to keep and miles to go before you sleep, you might wish you had taken the road less traveled, because most of these vehicles on these roads were moving at a glacial pace.
My apologies to Robert Frost and my admiration for Jack Frost, who made all of this possible. The storm seems to be intensifying. The wind is picking up. You're looking at live pictures of Front Street in Scituate, and the storm does seem to be intensifying quite a bit. But so far it's been a nuisance. No death, destruction, or deprivations that we know of. We haven't heard of anything. For now, reporting live from Scituate, I'm Ron Gullivan, News Center 5. Nat?
Okay, Ron, thanks. This storm means an extra long weekend for many children as scores of schools closed early today. News Center 5's Jorge Quiroga reports officials scrambled to get the early dismissal message out to parents.
Have Jeffrey come in. In Dedham's Riverdale Elementary School, the sudden decision for an early dismissal had Principal John Raffa scrambling to track down working parents.
Mrs. Mullen, the students are being dismissed at 11:30. It is now 10:30. I have Lisa here with me, and she is not certain what she is supposed to do.
It's not as easy as it used to be. These days, most students come from homes with working parents. Anybody stranded yet?
No one, but at 11:30, I'm sure there will be some strandees here in the office, and we hold on to them until someone comes to pick them up.
For the children, this was yet another winter distraction from schoolwork, but that hardly dampened their spirits. Hey, after all, they're kids, and snow time means playtime.
Well, I really want to go, work on the snow fort.
But for parents, this harried drill was hardly fun.
I have another son in another school across town, so I had to come get him early, go get him, and, then I have to go to work tonight, so it does make things crazy.
Stephanie Tribuna arrived at work in Boston just in time to turn around.
You have to have a boss who understands, and you work really hard for him. You take work home when you can.
Finally, the moment of truth arrived. When the kids left school, most parents had gotten the word.
Okay, everyone who doesn't have a parent, we're going back. Okay?
A few parents couldn't make it on time, but rest assured, until they did, their kids were in safe hands. In Dedham, Jorge Quiroga, News Center 5.
Friday is traditionally a busy day at the supermarket, but with the storm approaching, shoppers made certain they were stocked up for this latest episode of cabin fever. The state has issued an emergency waiver of the blue laws this weekend. That means that retail stores and supermarkets can open before noon on Sunday if they get an okay from the local chief of police. And the frustration continued today at Logan Airport. News Center 5's Pam Cross joins us live from Logan. Pam?
Well, Chad, it's been an on-again, off-again day at Logan. The airport is open now. It was actually open, surprisingly, for most of the day until about, at 3 o'clock. They had 2 runways open, and they managed to get a lot of jets in and out. But with other East Coast airports closed, it was often a terminal to nowhere.
Do you think you're going to make it?
No, but we're going to keep trying. We've got there are flights going all day long, and we're just going to keep trying to get on them. So it's a 19th birthday, and we've got 21 people for dinner tonight, and I don't know whether we'll make it or not. But
the story was repeated dozens of times. Travelers trying hard, but flying nowhere fast. With Logan, the only major Northeast airport open most of the day, flights bound for elsewhere were diverted here, stranding even more passengers.
We just missed the closing of Newark Airport by about 15 minutes, and then he diverted it to Boston.
So now you've got another day.
Another day here in Boston, but the people at Continental have been terrific. They've provided us with a hotel, and they're going to send us out tomorrow, hopefully, if the airports open up.
Massport
We have
officials
opened
sat
Bravo-
down with airline representatives to
secondary
plan
de-ice
strategy
pad.
today. Since this snow season began, the airport is closed down on at least 6 occasions. Logan Airport usually gets about 42 inches of snow per year, but since December 30th, this season alone, 61 inches have fallen, and that doesn't count today's storm.
This storm is intensifying. The forecast is holding. It looks like we're going to get snowfall at about 1 inch an hour, and when that happens, things are pretty tough to maintain in the field, and we got to watch it closely. If it gets too hard to handle and conditions go downhill, we're just going to have to close the field.
Joining me now, Stephen Taco, the executive director of Massport. You've got one runway open. Congratulations. Are you able to get much in and out on that one runway?
Well, we have everything we had to get in and out. We did. We just landed the last plane that wanted to get in, and there's 3 that are waiting to leave, and they're on their way out now. And that's pretty much it for demand. There's traffic shutdowns all up and down the coast, so we've been able to keep up with it pretty well, as tough as it's been.
You think the runway's going to stay open?
We're going to work hard to keep it open. I mean, it's snowing right now at about 1 inch an hour. It's supposed to snow right through midnight, but we're going to keep at it. We're going to try our best to keep that runway open.
All right, you heard it here. Logan Airport is open with one runway, and their fingers crossed. Reporting live from the airport, I'm Pam Cross. Here's Natalie.
Thanks, Pam. We have lots more storm coverage ahead tonight. Dick Albert will have the very latest on the storm track, most important. There's been no shortage of snow this winter, but how about shortages of sand and salt? We'll take a look at that. In Washington, the storm forced the federal government to shut down, and no doubt by now you and your kids might be bouncing off the walls. Chuck Kramer has some video advice on indoor activities. Also, throughout this evening, we'll bring you hourly updates on the storm's progress and the very latest information on News Center 5 tonight at 11 after 2020. Then tomorrow morning, special hourly coverage after the storm beginning at 7 a.m.
Much more still to come on New England's News Center 5 at 6. Tonya Harding's Olympic fate in the hands of a judge in Oregon. We'll have a live report from Portland.
The Winter Games begin tomorrow. We'll have a preview on preparations in Lillehammer.
And later, Chuck Kramer practices his winter survival skills indoors. Tonight, Tonya Harding's battle to keep her place on the U.S. Olympic team takes center stage in a Portland courtroom. The U.S. figure skating champion is asking a judge to block an Olympic committee hearing that could lead to her dismissal from the Olympic team. Correspondent Phyllis Burke joins us live from Portland with the latest. Phyllis?
That's right. Right now, Judge Patrick Gilroy is hearing from attorneys for the U.S. Olympic Committee here at the Clackamas County Courthouse in Oregon City. The USOC is trying to appear very accommodating to Tonya Harding through all this. They've offered to move the hearing back a few days and even pay for all her expenses. However, Harding's attorneys claim she would suffer irreparable harm if the hearing was to take place at all. Judge Patrick Gilroy says he's become an expert on figure skating already. As all this unfolds in a courtroom, Harding is trying to stay focused on skating and the Olympic competition. Tonya Harding ventured out again today without commenting on the lawsuit. She even managed to get in a practice with a friend at a Beaverton, Oregon ice rink. The Olympics begin tomorrow in Lillehammer, Norway, but all of the attention is focused on a legal battle thousands of miles away. On Wednesday, Harding's attorneys filed a $20 million lawsuit in an effort to block a U.S. Olympic Committee hearing into Harding's conduct in connection with the attack on Nancy Kerrigan. The USOC fired back yesterday, filing documents claiming the Clackamas County Circuit Court has no jurisdiction over the Olympic Committee. In Lillehammer, American athletes complained about all the attention surrounding the Harding scandal.
I think it's been a lot easier for me because attention equals pressure. And for me, having less attention has been great.
I would hope that that's not the only story of these Olympics. There's a lot that's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks, and we hope that every story deserves their own space and time within the media all over the world, not just in the United States.
If the judge in today's proceedings allows next Tuesday's hearing to take place, Harding could be kicked off the team.
The issues in this case are simply too complex for a quickie rush to judgment. It's not a situation of just calling her in and having a 10-minute interview and then saying you're off the team or whatever. It's much more complicated than that in order to be fair.
But if the hearing is postponed, there would be virtually no way to stop her from skating in the Olympics. Time is of the essence at this point. The USOC hearing is still set for Tuesday, so Judge Patrick Gilroy may render a decision today or perhaps even over the weekend. Chet?
All right, Phyllis, thank you. Across the Atlantic, Nancy Kerrigan resumed her training today in Norway. More than 300 members of the media watched as Kerrigan skated through her long program. She said she was pleased with her practice session.
There is word that Jackie Kennedy Onassis is fighting cancer. The former First Lady is being treated for a non-Hodgkin's type of lymphoma, a cancer of the lymphatic system. Mrs. Onassis was diagnosed early last month when she went to a doctor with flu-like symptoms. Her doctors say her chances of recovery are excellent. The 64-year-old Onassis is continuing her work as senior editor with book publisher Doubleday.
Governor Weld distributing $5 million to DARE programs across the Commonwealth. And there was a very special guest at today's State House ceremony. Rebecca Savarese of Pittsfield, who escaped an attempted abduction attempt last month, credits the DARE program at her school for helping her when Louis Lent allegedly tried to force her into his truck as she was walking to school.
He asked me to get into the truck, and then I started to fake that I was losing my breath. And then I was asking him if I could sit down by the nearby bench, and I didn't care what he said because I was going to sit down. And I was trying to take my backpack off to sit down, and he tried to grab for me, and he got my backpack instead, and I ran.
Police later that day arrested Lent, who is now charged with the murder of Jimmy Bernardo and is also a suspect in the disappearance of Sarah Ann Wood.
When we return, the latest weather word from Dick Albert, including details on when this will stop and how long it'll be before it starts again.
And while it seems our supply of snow is endless this season, how is the road sand and salt measuring up? That story's still to come.
Okay, we need to know when this one ends, and then when the next one starts.
Okay.
How is it up on the roof there? A little cold.
Oh, is it cold? I'm telling you, very
possessed
cold.
you, for goodness sakes. Nice and dry in here.
Yeah,
Glad you got your
possessed
senses.
by the devil going up to the roof there. Well, I'm going to answer your questions, but first, let's see how cold it is outside. Actually, the temperature's warmed up in downtown Boston. Winds have shifted into the east. 28 Falmouth, Boston. Inland is much cooler. 13 in Worcester, and up north in Portsmouth, it is 16 degrees. Well, we certainly have had a lot of snow already in the Boston area from this particular storm system. Way up north in the northern portion of Merrimack Valley and northwestern Mass, only 1 to 4 inches. You get south towards the Boston area, 4 to 8 inches already. And south of Boston, many stations reporting 8, 9, 10, 11 inches. So we've had about 8 to 12. There's a little bit of sleet and rain mixed in Nantucket, so it cut down the amounts of snow there. And we do have more snow to come as we get into later on tonight and tomorrow. Look at this. Hit New York City in the wee hours of the morning, hit Boston right around 10 o'clock, and you notice it's really a southern New England storm. Hardly any precipitation up north. Now we have several more hours tonight, but you see west, it's sort of diminishing a little bit. I think it'll end around midnight or early in the morning, and I would say at least 2 to 4 more inches of snow will fall tonight before all is said and done. And the culprit is this storm here, which will move out to sea with its snow and its ice and all that stuff that went along with it. And we're going to get a little lull tomorrow. But before all is said and done, 6 to 12 inches in the Boston area, 12 or more right along the coast and south of Boston, way up in the northern Mass border, about 3 to 6 inches, maybe 7 in a few spots. Now let's look at the weekend situation. Tomorrow, that lull, sort of gloomy, cloudy, just a spotty little chance of a little light snow or freezing drizzle. And all eyes on another storm, and we're going to have to watch that very closely on Sunday, because on Sunday morning there's going to be what we call a secondary low forming near Long Island. If it forms enough south of Boston and strengthens enough and moves northeastward, there's a chance for a snowy scenario developing Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. So it's about a 50-50 shot of either that happening or it moving a little further north, and most of the precipitation, the heaviest stuff, being north of the Boston area, from about Portland to Concord, New Hampshire, and north of that. So we're going to have to wait and see if we get another storm on Sunday. Who wants it? Nobody. All right, these are live pictures from 128. It's moving a little bit better than it was before, and the forecast shows snow tapering off slowly, ending after midnight with additional accumulation. Temperatures generally in the 20s, some teens well inland. And then tomorrow, a cloudy day, kind of a gloomy one, so some spotty freezing drizzle or light snow. Basically a cloudy day, 24 to 33. And tomorrow night, mixed precipitation. That means, depending where you are, some sleet or some little bit of snow, a little bit of freezing drizzle or just plain drizzle. And then on Sunday, there's a chance of another storm of sorts, Sunday afternoon and night. And then we should clear up for early next week.
Lovely.
Right.
Now, no, this is not a blizzard, right? Because there's not enough wind?
Right. Blizzard is low visibilities and snow and blowing snow. Very cold, generally temperatures in the teens or below, and very strong winds. So basically, you're right.
The only thing we're missing is the wind. Okay.
All right, still to come tonight. Snow takes a big bite out of the Big Apple.
We'll tell you about that, and we'll also have a live report from Washington, D.C., where the snow shut down the federal government.
Watching News Center 5, New England's television news leader.
Still to come tonight, this week's High Five, a star in not one, not two, but 3 sports at his high school. The governor vows to get more funding for sand and salt shortages this snowy season. And Chuck Kramer packs in supplies for the storm.
We'll have those stories coming up, but first, hard to believe, but for the second time this winter, the most powerful government in the world shut down because of bad weather. Julie Kurtz joins us live now from the White House, where it seems that private industry may have hardier workers than the federal government. Right, Julie?
That's right, Chet. You know, those pushing for federal budget cuts got some ammunition today. The federal government survived without most of its federal bureaucrats. Thousands of federal workers stayed home out of this winter mess. It's a mess in the nation's capital, all right. An expensive mess. The federal government's decision to give federal workers the day off because of the weather cost taxpayers $61 million. It also produced a fair amount of grumbling from non-government workers forced to brave the storm.
Typical government. They never work, so I shouldn't say that.
So while the Energy Department closed down, Victoria's Secret was open for business in Washington. Agriculture Department workers stayed home today, but there was no break for the pizza delivery man.
I love the snow.
But federal bureaucrats do not, according to the officials who made the bad weather call. If Domino's Pizza can stay open for business, why can't the federal government today?
Well, unfortunately, in this part of the country, they're not really set, the local governments here aren't really set up to do a lot of heavy-duty snow removal, and we don't want anybody to get in trouble, so essentially, or be hurt or injured.
The snow put 350,000 federal employees out of work for the day. The White House is one exception where apparently bad weather is no excuse to stay home. And to be fair, a few other dedicated federal workaholics came in anyway.
I have work to do. I want to get it done. Don't want to get any further behind.
Not a typical attitude from federal employees today. For most of Washington's federal workforce, the snow and ice means slipping behind and catching up on Monday, weather permitting. In Washington, Julie Kurtz, News Center 5. The White House lawn is frozen solid right now, covered with about 4 inches of snow, but really during the day the White House was a beautiful sight, and the bad weather did not prevent President Clinton from meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan today. Chet.
All right, Julie, thank you. And the city that never sleeps is quiet at this hour. New York, in the midst of a declared snow emergency. That means that vehicles without chains or radial tires are not permitted on major roads. There are countless closings. Kennedy, LaGuardia, Newark airports were shut down. The stock and commodities exchanges closed early. Even the Statue of Liberty was closed to tourists. New York City road crews are down to their last 16,000 tons of salt. They used 5,000 tons of salt today alone.
Philadelphia is also running out of road salt, and that made driving extra tough as motorists trying to get to work today were bogged down on slick, snowy highways. Massachusetts is also running low on supplies. Governor Weld is going to ask the legislature on Monday for up to $50 million for state and local snow budgets. News Center 5's Kirby Perkins with this part of the story.
The trucks were lined up in Waltham's public works yard today, desperately seeking something almost as valuable as gold this winter. It doesn't look like much, sort of a dirty brown color, but it is salt. The last little bit. Look back. This entire area was filled with a driver's best friend, but not anymore.
That's the end of the salt, right?
You in trouble?
We're in big trouble unless we get some salt in, yes.
The salt they do have and the sand is being spread non-stop today by Waltham's winter warriors, men like John Devlin.
They're getting hit, and it doesn't seem to want to go away.
Yes, John, we're all painfully aware it won't go away. More tomorrow, they say, and this time it won't be flaky, it'll be icy. And if the salt supply has not been replenished, big trouble on the roads.
We'll have a problem probably with hard pack turning to ice. What we'll have to do is strictly sand, which doesn't work as well on the roads as the chemical treatment.
Like most of the salters, sanders, and plowers this year, John Devlin is out here for a lot of hours. It gives him time to think about the problems of the world. So how do you feel about the threat of global warming?
Is that a loaded question or what?
Just a little frozen black humor, John, during this grin and bear it winter. And by the way, pray for salt. In Waltham, Kirby Perkins, News Center 5.
More to come on New England's News Center 5. Dick Albert will update us on the winter storm.
And let it snow as long as there's video.
A new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or see.
Well, since we've got no place to go, can't get there anyway, let it snow. Fine sentiment, says Chuck Kramer, as long as you made it to the video store in time.
In Jack London, the guy survives the storm with a handful of matches. What a person needs today is a handful of movies, quick, before the good ones are all gone. So how many tapes do you figure you'll rent today?
Hopefully 3,000 or 4,000, maybe 5 if we're lucky.
Try not to panic, though. The storm isn't going to be that bad. Maybe better see what other people are packing in here.
He's gonna get all 3 Indiana Jones movies, actually.
Made in America and Point of No Return, 2 dynamite movies.
How many do you think you'll have to rent to survive this storm?
3.
3, yeah. Which 3? Which 3?
I'd said revisited. Episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Do you think that'll be enough for the weekend?
No, I hope so.
Winter Kills, Winter People, Cold Heaven, Return to Snowy River. No, not quite right somehow. I can't remember. What did kids do during storms before there were video stores?
I have no clue. All kids' movies.
Oh, yeah? Nothing for yourself?
No. As long as they're occupied, I'm happy.
I wonder what mothers did during long storms before there were video stores.
I don't know, they were saints. Dan Aykroyd, Coneheads, Lost in Yonkers, Homeward Bound, and Summersby.
Summersby for a little class, I
Right.
see. Yeah. Winter survival skills, therefore, amount pretty much to this: knowing how to search a database for keywords like beach, summer, warm. At Blockbuster Video, just in time. This is Chuck Kramer.
That's all, folks.
Plan to rent 4,000 or 5,000 today? Oh my gosh.
Wow. Still to come, Dick will update the weather. In sports, it's High Five Night.
Plus, on the eve of the 17th Olympiad, we take a look at the snow-covered town that will host this extravaganza, Norway's Lillehammer.
All right, Mike's here with sports, and I don't know, what's the happening in that courtroom in Portland?
There's a couple empty chairs there right now.
I see. There must be in a recess.
All right, Tanya Harding's Olympic fate could be sitting in an Oregon courtroom right now with those empty chairs as we speak. Harding has filed suit. She's asking a judge to ban the Olympic Committee from holding its scheduled hearing next Tuesday in Norway on her alleged involvement in the Nancy Kerrigan attack. Now, the Olympic Committee wants the judge to toss her suit out. They contend that participation in the Olympics is a privilege and not a right. The USOC has offered to reschedule the hearing to accommodate Harding's travel schedule. They have offered to pay expenses for her lawyer to fly to Norway. They have offered to provide lodging and a skating facility in which to practice. Right now, that hearing is in a recess. Tonya Harding spent most of the day skating with the common folks and helping one of her friends learn how to skate. With or without Tonya Harding, the Winter Games will open tomorrow in Lillehammer. In addition to the stories of the athletes themselves, the host city is almost always woven into the fabric of the Games. Lillehammer, Norway, has spent nearly $1 billion in preparations and is ready for tomorrow's opening ceremonies where 2,000 athletes from 69 countries will take part. Mike Dowling has the story.
The decision is Lillehammer.
Ever since it was awarded the Games 6.5 years ago, this small Norwegian town, known for its trolls, elves, and snow spirits, has been preparing for the 17th Winter Olympics and the onslaught of visitors an Olympiad brings. Lillehammer, population 23,000, about the size of Wellesley. And imagine the folks of Wellesley with one 2-lane highway trying to handle over 100,000 visitors per day.
Yes, it's too many people.
Too busy?
A little too busy.
But by and large, most of the locals are doing their best to put on a happy face, and in fact, have been auctioning off one countdown t-shirt each day for the past 1,000 days.
5,000. I don't get it. The third time. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Today's winning bid, $7,500. Initially, there was some concern that Lillehammer, which is the northernmost city ever to host an Olympics, just 450 miles south of the Arctic Circle, would not have enough snow. But Mother Nature has come through again, giving Lillehammer its biggest snowfall in 30 years.
Now that you got the whole Olympic area covered in white, clean snow, it really gives you the best sort of setting and atmosphere for the Winter Games.
Packed and ready to go, Mike Dowling, SportsCenter 5.
No, that was not Mike Dowling. If Lillehammer needs any snow, they can have every inch that we have here in New England. NASCAR driver Neil Bonnet died today in a crash during a practice session at the Daytona International Speedway. The 47-year-old Bonnet lost control of his car at a high bank turn and hit a wall nearly head-on. He was practicing in hopes of making a comeback. He drove only twice last year when doctors advised him to quit his comeback following a serious head injury in 1990. For High Five tonight, we climb up Route 2 to Belmont Hill to meet a three-sport star whose personality shines as brightly as his athletic and academic accomplishments. His name is Brian Owens. Belmont Hill School has a rich academic tradition. Along with a quality education, there are numerous athletic opportunities. Over the years, their hockey team has produced Olympians and NHL players. So it is not unusual for NHL types to be seen hanging around the rink. We hung around the rink one day last week to check out a guy by the name of Brian Owens. What we found out fascinated us. He is from nearby Arlington and has been playing hockey since he was a youngster. He was raised by his mom, Janet, who was a single parent. She, of course, is Brian's biggest fan. How are you as a mother in the stands? A nervous wreck?
I'm just as afraid, but I think that football is even worse for me. I can't stand any hits, and I really feel as if he's out there, he's well padded, he's well conditioned, and he's ready to play.
She loves hockey. She on all my games. My grandmother's always at my games and everything like that. I don't know, it's in my blood, I guess. All my friends, my mom loves the game, and since I'm such a unique player in the game, you don't see many black players play hockey, that makes me just like it just that much more, so.
Does it bother you to get a lot of attention just for that, being a black guy that plays hockey, or would you rather get attention just for being a good hockey player?
Well, I'm the type of kid that loves attention. You can ask any of my friends. I love to be in the spotlight. I love the pressure on me and everything like that. So that's one of the reasons I like to play the sport. I'm unique.
What's his strength, do you think, in hockey?
Oh, speed. Definitely speed. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, and when he plays, you'll notice his speed. I mean, there'll be people trying to keep up with him.
If his speed is impressive in hockey, it is scary in football and track. Last season, he scored 18 touchdowns in just 7 games. Most of them were spectacular. He was his league's 100-yard dash champ and record setter in the triple jump for the track team. Next year, he will play football and hockey at Colgate University.
Is there a favorite among the three?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I didn't really know what sport I was going to play. I thought I was just going to play hockey. But then I had such a good football season this year. It was surprising to me. So I decided I couldn't make the decision, so I'm going to play both in college.
Y'all ready for this?
He made a tough choice leaving his hometown of Arlington to play across the hill at Belmont. He has maintained a B average. He has become a leader on campus. He has made his teachers, coaches, and mom very proud.
She's done everything for me since I was little. She's kind of like a father figure and a mother figure in one. She probably could do anything. If she said to stop, I'll probably stop. She's my life, so I just do what she says all the time, so I love her, I guess.
Right now, he's king of the hill. He's Brian Owens, this week's
You always get that high mom in there. What about dads? You know, we never get anything, do we, huh?
That was good.
You have
Good
to
man.
coach him next time to say hi, Dad.
Coming up, an update on the weather forecast.
Dick Albert joins us when we return. Okay, it is Friday night. This is kind of good timing on the storm, actually. You can kind of chill out for a couple days. Now, those people going skiing, Dick has some good news.
Well, if
because
you're
the
heading
roads are
up
pretty
north,
good north,
that's right. If you passed about Portsmouth to Manchester, New Hampshire, and past a very southerly Vermont, there's hardly any snow at all, just a few flurries.
On the roads.
That's right.
On the slopes, there's plenty.
There's a lot of snow on the slopes, but this storm, really, the major snowfall is in southern New England. Northern New England really missed this, but great for skiing. Okay. What's going on here is that we're seeing, well...
We're seeing us, actually.
We're seeing us, actually, and we're going to see
there we
128 at the present time
we see
in the Dedham area, and we see some, not much traffic. I think most of the commuters have commuted home, so the people who are out on the roads, it's slow going at the present time, and there's still a lot of snow. It looks like at least another few inches of snow. Back to the computer quickly, and we'll see what's happening for this up-and-coming weekend. Tomorrow, just kind of cloudy, some spotty precipitation, but really I don't expect any storminess tomorrow, but we'll be watching another storm system, the last in the series, and that could create a problem if one develops south of us on Sunday afternoon. There's a 50-50 shot of more rain, sleet, or snow Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. Better shot up in northern New England, so all eyes will be on the weather maps on Sunday. So the 5-day outlook shows freezing tomorrow, cloudy, some mixed precipitation on Sunday, and then Monday will dawn partly sunny.
Hallelujah. Stay with us here at News Center 5 for the latest storm information. We'll be bringing you live updates on the hour throughout the night. We'll have a complete wrap-up of the storm coverage tonight at 11, so we hope you'll join us then.
Tonight on 2020, you can watch Catherine Ann Powers' first television interview. Barbara Walters will talk with a former fugitive who is now serving time for the murder of Boston policeman Walter Schroeder. Then we will have reaction on News Center 5 tonight at 11, and of course all of the rest of the news, including the all-important weather.
All right, stay tuned for ABC's World News tonight. Peter Jennings.
Have a nice evening. See you at 11.
Good night. Thank you.